Never doubt how wonderful and powerful you are. You probably have in fact, I know you have so many abilities that you're not even aware of. Hi, I'm JJ, the Practical Alchemist, otherwise known as, and I'm delighted that you could join me today for this little chat. It's just me talking about something which came to mind. And if you like this kind of shorter video, not an interview, but just a chat, please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments, and I will do much more of these. Anyway, the reason that I wanted to jump on and talk to you today was that the other day I met a lovely woman when I was swimming, and I swim when I can, hopefully every day, but sometimes, it just doesn't work out, in the sea here off the coast of Scotland. And I met a beautiful lady, wonderful woman, the other day as I was getting changed after I'd had a swim. And she told me about some of her health issues, as people do, and was talking to me about how she was learning Qigong. And that one of the things that she found extraordinary about learning Qigong was that she found that she could actually feel the energy in the palms of her hands. And I said, yeah, you can. And she said, I would never have believed it until I experienced it. And here's the thing. We can all experience that. We all have the capacity for that, but we have the capacity for even more. So think about this. If you're practicing something like Qigong, and in Qigong you work with energy, and you can feel it in your hands, you can feel it in your body, just think about what that means. It means that there is an energetic frequency that we can tune into and we can work with our bodies. And people who do Reiki understand this as well. That's what they're doing. They're using an energy that comes through them and then into the person they're working with. Or in my own experience, I work with people on an energetic level, and I can read a body. I can tune into people's bodies and their energy and shift any of the energies that might be blocking something in their system, which is preventing them from having full health. So it is a thing. To me, it's quite normal, but I understand that for a lot of people, it's just way out there. And also, because it's way out there, they think that they can't do it. It's something way beyond their capabilities. But it isn't. We can all access this, work with this, improve our lives with this. Each and every one of us has the capability for self-healing. Each and every one of us has the capability to work with energy within ourselves and other people and our environment, indeed. Like the elephant above me here, you can only see his feet there, but you just have to trust your magic, believe that you have it, and trust your magic. And it's not just working energetically like that. I mean, quantum physicists are beginning to understand that the universe isn't quite what we thought it was for many hundreds, thousands, maybe of years. And that there are different dimensions, there are different frequencies, and that things don't quite work the way that we were brought up to believe. Certainly in my day, when I was learning science, it was very cut and dried, and anything along the quantum field hadn't even been thought of or considered at that point. But the other day as well, I was watching something, I think here on YouTube, and they were talking about remote viewing and how the CIA once had a remote viewing program, and they brought people in who could remote view, and they were using it, as an espionage thing. And then from what I can recall, somewhere along the line, people did an experiment with just ordinary people and asked them to see if they could see something remotely. So in other words, remote viewing is when you put your focus on something that isn't actually in front of you and you describe what you see. Well, it turned out that most of the ordinary people could do it as well. So it's actually not that, it's not that much of an unusual thing for people to be able to do or experience. And I know that I've certainly been able to do it myself. I have been able to remote view and describe people and things that I otherwise wouldn't have been able to know. You know, people that were hundreds of miles away, thousands of miles away. I've been able to do that and still can. Now, of course, when you talk about this, people suddenly think, "Oh no, she's been invading my privacy." Don't like that at all. Yeah, no, I mean, not really. It's not something I do every day. All right, it's just occasionally I have done that just to tune in to somebody or something and see what's going on there. And talking about tuning in, you know, the energy healing thing, working with people's energies to help them get rid of any blocks in their system, that can be done remotely as well. And again, quantum physics seems to explain how that works, we now know, whereas in the past it was all magic. Trust your magic. And then you've got communicating with other species, animal and plant communication. You know, years ago, people used to say that our now King Charles was a complete barnpot because, or an idiot, or, you know, crazy, because he was said to talk to his plants. Well, apart from the fact that the carbon dioxide that you exhale is good for the plants because they take that in and release oxygen, which is why plants are so good for our environment, by the way, because they take in excess carbon dioxide and they release oxygen, which is something that we need. We do need carbon dioxide as well, but, you know, plants need carbon dioxide. So it's not just for that talking to plants is a good thing, but also if you really just free yourself of any preconceptions, of any, well, this is daft, I'm not going to be able to do this, and just allow yourself to tune into a plant, see what happens. You'll often find that something comes into your mind which looks very much and sounds very much like the plant's communicating with you. And I think that's absolutely what's happening. The plant communicates with you. I have a plant behind me, obviously, and I talk to this plant all the time. I communicate love. Plants thrive on love. They thrive on that energy that comes from you. They love it when you love them, and they reward you with thriving in that loving energy. But it's not just plants, it's animals too. I've seen many courses from people who train people to communicate with animals, and that's fantastic. That's fabulous. But, you know, I wonder whether we all really need much training, because if we just allow ourselves to, we can probably communicate very well with our animals. Anybody who's been a pet owner, I'm sure that you have a very strong bond of communication with your pets, and we can do that with wild animals as well. We can communicate with them. It's just allowing ourselves to just go with the flow, just drop any preconceptions, drop any, you know, niggling doubts or anything, and just energetically send a communication to any animal. And they usually respond. They usually get it and will respond in kind. And, you know, there are other things like seeing what some people call ghosts. Again, you know, that was always just a normal thing to me. When I was very young, I very often saw ghosts, as we called them. I now think that a ghost is just an energy frequency. It's like a residue, an energy residue that still hangs around in a place. It's like an energy signature. And some of us, nay, all of us, I think, can pick that up. the question is, how much do we pick it up? How much do we allow ourselves to recognize what we're doing and seeing? But we can all do it. It's all a question of not having any fear and allowing our senses to kick in rather than our mind, which says, oh no, you can't be doing that. That's not, oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. No, let all that go and allow your senses to really tune in to what's going on around you. And you'd be surprised, I think. And, you know, it's the same with, I mean, I've even done things like bilocation. I mean, not physically bilocating. You know, I'm not, I haven't been doing this sort of Schrodinger's cat thing, but actually tuning into a place. I did this once near a loch in just not far from me here. And I was tuning into an island on the loch and suddenly found myself above it and communicating with something, an entity that was also just hovering above it. And I was literally sitting in a car on the bank, but hovering over the island, looking back at the car. That's all I could see. And I was talking, or not talking, but communicating or being communicated with this other entity. And I'm actually writing down all these experiences right now to go into a book, which I'm tentatively calling Adventures Beyond the Matrix. But just to explain that all these things are natural. They are not supernatural. They are natural. And we can all experience them. It is not, we're not being Superman or superhuman. If we can experience these things, all we have to do is allow ourselves, step into the power that we have, which is so vastly more than we're taught we have. So there we are. It's not rocket science, although it kind of is, but it's not. If you're thinking about quantum physics, that's kind of rocket sciencey. But it's nature. It's what we are. What do you think? Do you think I'm crazy? Yeah, I probably am. But all I can say is, hand on heart, that's been my experience throughout my life. And it's always been normal, natural for me. And I believe it's normal and natural for everybody. We just have to allow it to come through, to emerge into our consciousness and not sublimate it. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. So please do let me know. And I'm going to leave it there for now. I'll probably talk more about this in the coming weeks and months. But for now, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you'll join me another time. Meanwhile, do please like, subscribe, share, all those good things to help with the channel. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.